Hey guys, today I'm going to showcase this 4x4 flush glass door, which is seamless, and later I'll also show how to build it. So here's our closing and then our opening. As you can see, it's pretty quick. It's 3.1 seconds, 3.75 with the seam included. So here's the mechanism. There's a Litematica and world download in the description, and if you are here for the tutorial, then let's not waste any time. So here are the resources that we will need for this. This smooth sandstone block is just a large amount. It's just your building block. Jukeboxes can be replaced by target blocks. It's up to you. I prefer jukeboxes because I'm zesty as hell. And you can also not put colored blocks here, but I recommend doing so, just so that if there's an issue with your build, it's easier to understand where that issue comes from. So this is our building space. It is 22 long, not 23, I did a mistake, it's 22 long, 10 wide, and 21 blocks high. It is 3 blocks wide in front of the door frame. There is 7 blocks below the door frame, and there is 8 blocks to the right of the door frame, and this is where you will want to place your frame. You can also extend your frame like this, just so that we have more something to work with. We'll extend it a bit more later. Let's start with the piston layout now. You want to take your glass and your piston, and you will follow this pattern, and then place 4 pistons all facing down like this. Now you will do the same pattern, but 3 long like this, and again place 4 pistons, regular pistons, like this in front. And you will actually put a yellow glass in front of it, I forgot about that, or just any glass, and yeah, you will just make it on every place where you need those pistons, like this. Beautiful. You will also need to do that here. Oops. 4 pistons stacked on top of each other again. As you can see, 4 blocks of space between that and the frame. Now let's do the quads on the side. Also, this is like the first few days I'm using no clip, so I'm not completely used to how it works yet, so please bear with me for that. Now let's do the bottom part. Put a double extender like this. Put a line of 4 glass here. Then 4 pistons like this. And on the other side, you will do the same with 4 pistons with 4 blocks of gap like this. So yeah, this is our piston layout. I'm also going to expand my wall like this. There's not much of a need to teach you how to do that, so I'll just cut it. Oh yeah, and go back to the top of your mechanism and put 2 blocks before the pistons, and then put back 2 pistons at the top like this. I did a mistake. These will happen. Now, let's place some tough to place observers before they get even tougher to place. You can break the blocks above to place them, especially if you're in survival. It'll make things much easier than what I did. So just, you know, yeah, like this. And you'll also place some below the double piston extender. You'll put 2, and you'll see why when we get to the later part of the mechanism. But for now, yeah. Also make sure to have a whole lot of blocks above your door, like 9 I think it is, and or you can also put like an unmovable block like obsidian. It's just, if you don't do that, the door will simply break when it opens and closes. So yeah, that's just a little disclaimer. Let's start with the input circuit. So you want to go 4 blocks, and then on the 5th block you will start placing your blocks in this pattern, and then put dust all over it, and this is your input circuit done. Now onto the left side circuit. So you'll put a repeater on the 4th tick here with a piston. That will cut this little line. Don't forget to put a glass, it's pretty important here, otherwise it will not work. Then continue your circuit like this, then place your jukebox or target block like this. Now go down and place 2 repeaters like this. And yeah, now above this block, don't forget to place a redstone. I forgot to do that in the video, but put a redstone above that one. Then place repeaters like this. Then do the same thing here. We'll fix something just in a bit, but for now, put this on 2 ticks and then put a dust. Now I'm just going to use a footage recorded much later in the video where I fix something wrong that I did here. So yeah, you'll want to place this in this way without repeaters. That's it. So now we're gonna go down from here. We will add a repeater set on the 3rd tick here. 3rd tick. And you will put a sticky piston with a block of redstone, then put a dust like this, then make it go above, and then do like a triple U shape, kind of like this, and put dusts on the long parts, and then put repeaters set on 2 to 1 ticks like this. Then go down again like this, follow this pattern. I'm sorry it's a little bit abstract, but yeah. Then you will take your redirecting blocks like jukeboxes and do a, again, W sort of pattern, but differently this time. And then put repeaters below like that. And all the repeaters are in 1 tick here. So here we're gonna put some dust below these observers and replace this one with glass, and then put a detector rail. And I'm just gonna fix something that I realized very quickly. It's that I put these the wrong way at the beginning. So just fix those and put that this way. Now you want to put a sticky piston with an observer facing towards that block in this way. And then you will take current from like the last thing and just drive it down very simply like this. And yeah. Now we're gonna continue here. We're using cyan temporarily. This isn't yet the cyan circuit, but yeah. Now we're gonna put a note block just so that we can update this piston, or guarantee to update this piston, I mean. Oop. Then put do like a downwards redstone elevator like this with redstone blocks in this way, and just repeat it until you reach this point. Then you will bring it down with 2 repeaters set to 4 ticks like so, with a dust. It's better. Then put an observer here. Going down into a repeater set on 2 ticks, then a just line sort of thing going like this. then actually make this one go up, then put a 2-tick repeater like this. Now just make it go like in a sort of zigzag pattern with glass on one part and regular block on the other. And then we'll make another zigzag pattern on the other side with some redstone torches like this. Just so that, well, the current elevates and that we can push all the pistons very easily. So now we're gonna finish finally the orange mechanism. So we're gonna put a piston like this with a block and then just do a big net of redstone above like this. And that's it. We've finished our orange mechanism. So now onto the cyan circuit. So we're gonna place a cauldron filled to the maximum with a comparator. Then we will place some wool here with a piston behind it that will push it, which will give us the ability to power it with a weak signal. Now we're gonna place 8 blocks like this, and on the 7th block you'll put a repeater to 1 tick, then you'll go down and put a repeater to the 4th tick and put 1 block, then 2 glass like this, and then 1 more block, and then you go down by 1. Quite a bit of a struggle, but it's not that bad. Then you'll put a repeater, a block, and another block below like this, and you'll put a dust in the middle like this. Now you'll put a normal piston facing back like this, then a sticky piston facing down with an observer. Then you'll make it go into this piece of redstone. Then you'll make a line from here and put some repeaters like this, 4, 4, 2. And you will connect this with a repeater and then connect these to the back pistons and just move this repeater here. Now you will put 3 repeaters on 1 tick like this and a dust on the top of that last block like this. Now you'll put 2 more blocks and dust above like this. Now we're going to place some observers facing downwards towards those pistons, and then we're going to also place some here like so. Now, what you want to do is that you want to take some powered rails and put them above. Don't worry about the piston sounds, they won't do much. It'll be fixed later. Now you want to make this go up and then do a line towards the edge, and then put 3 observers up and a dust. And then from that dust, you will go until the line of redstone you did earlier down there, and replace this one with a glass, and then go 1 back like this, then 1 down with glass, then break these 2 observers, place 2 regular pistons like this, and then put some redstone dust to element those pistons. Now we'll go back up with some glass. Make sure to cut this line right here with a solid block, otherwise it will do funky stuff that you don't want. Then you will put 4, 4, 1 repeaters like this, then a piston going down like this, 1 block lower, then like that, then put a block above that piston, a redstone dust going up like this, then a repeater set on the 3rd tick, and a piston with an observer with a block going straight into the line that we did right before this. Now you will do a line of blocks and put a repeater on 2 ticks, then 2 repeaters set on 4 ticks. Then at the end of that, you will place a sticky piston pointing downwards, and then you will put an observer facing towards the rail, like this. Now you will go back to the block you placed earlier and simply link that to the rail below, like this. Now you will go at the back and do a line, then put a repeater on 2 ticks, a piston with a block above, and a repeater set to 3 ticks, like this. Then put a block above, a redstone dust, a glass, and then you will simply link it, don't forget to put some glass, to what you did earlier. Now go back again at the back and put a dust down here, and then put a repeater set to 2 ticks, then a repeater set to 4 ticks, then a piston with a block, then 2 repeaters set to 2 ticks. I know this is quite the brain heck, but it is what it is. Then you will put 2 observers facing up from that rail, then 1 pointing like this. Then you will just move this real quick. I didn't place this correctly the first time. And then move this down with a hopper and an observer. Now you'll go back at the same rail, and then you will simply take this current down like I am doing, with a hopper and an observer like this. I know this is quite a brain hack, but as you can see now, our quad is fully functional. So now onto the yellow circuit, you will place 4 blocks in this way, then place a piston like this, then a sticky piston downwards with an observer, and a dust with a block above it. Now you will link that to the pistons in the back using your redirecting blocks, so jukeboxes are target basically. And then you will just link it using some redstone and a repeater here. Oh yeah, and replace this with an observer, that's for later. Now you're going to make a line from here, then place 3 repeaters like this. And below you will place a bunch of lines of observers in this way so that we can power the pistons. It's a little bit tough to place, but I also didn't place it in the smartest way, but yeah. Now below the ones with only 1, you will want to place 2 observers like this with 2 powered rails above them. Those are for later, and then under this one we'll place only 1 on the inner or back side of it. And you will simply link those to the line of repeaters that you did earlier. Now you will go down by 4 blocks like this, and then up by 2, and then just fill this with redstone. You'll see why in a very little bit, but now you'll place a repeater on 3 ticks with a piston and a comparator with another cauldron completely filled. Now you want to go down from here with a repeater set to 2 ticks and a dust here. Then from here you will need to place 3 repeaters, 2 on 2 ticks and 1 on 1 tick. Then a dust, another repeater on 2 ticks, a dust, another repeater on 2 ticks with a block in front of it, and then 2 dusts in the middle. This is quite the brain hack, I know, but yeah. And now you'll just place 2 observers like this, and as you can see, those are the observers we placed earlier. Pretty handy. Now we're going to place another repeater on 2 ticks yet again, and an observer, and you want to break this one and replace it, and yeah. Now we'll place an observer here, with a block here, and then an observer facing up from here, which is for later yet again. Now you'll place 2, then 2, then 2 again, and fill that with just dust. And put an observer, then take a hopper and place it on top of that, then place an observer and then 2 observers again, and dust here. Now you'll need to place some observers like this, and dust above it like this. Then in here you'll just place a hopper, and that's the other observer we placed earlier. Then an observer pointing down toward a block, which will be placed like this. I messed up a bit, sorry. And this one pointing up towards the one we placed earlier yet again. Now onto the last bit, which is simply a dust here, then an observer, then a hopper, then 2 observers, and another one pointing straight into that. That's a lot of observers, I know, but if you try it, it works. As you can see, it is fully functional. Let's get on to the pink circuit now. So first thing first is that you want to bring this signal down like this in a sort of diagonally shape. Then you'll put a sticky piston at the tip of that with an observer, and 2 blocks like this with the dust in the middle, a hopper, and then an observer pointing down with wool like this going in diagonal by 4 blocks, but the last block is a pink block, a glass block I mean. Then you will place a sticky piston under that with a redstone block, and then you'll continue the signal and do a zigzag shape like this. Then put repeaters like this. Make sure that this one is on 2 ticks, and voila, you've got what you need so far. So now onto this part, you'll put a repeater on 4 ticks, then one on 2 ticks, then an observer like this from a piston, and then do a sort of dust thing with a repeater like this. Don't forget to put glass here so that it doesn't interfere with the orange circuit, and to block off that part, put some dust. Put a repeater here and some dust here to link to that repeater. Feel free to reset that if you want. Now let's continue this part. You will put 2 redstone torches like this. Then from here you will place a 2 and 4 tick repeaters, then a circuit like this. Now from here you will do kind of the same thing as the other side. You will just put an observer with a piston, and it will go into this 3 tick repeater, which is going to be linked to something that we will build now. So we'll put a line of pistons like this with observers pointing up. Then we will do another line of pistons in the back with observers facing towards the double extender like this. Now below you'll place some jukeboxes or target blocks, up to you again, and you will put some redstone on the entirety of that line like this. And here you will place torches like this, then a repeater set to 3 ticks in front of it with a torch, which is what we're going to repeat on the other side, but slightly differently, of course. Put a 3 tick repeater and put a redstone torch here. Might as well not forget that. And yep, now we're gonna make another zigzag pattern under these so that we can push all of them easily. Put the second one to 2 ticks. Then you're going to do this sort of weird shape. Then below this part here, you'll put a piston with an observer facing upwards. Then put a redstone dust here with a repeater pointing into a block to power that. And then you'll take power from here and simply just connect those two repeaters like that. Make sure to put solid blocks on the front thing here. And now it works perfectly fine. If you have any issues, let me know in the comment section and I will try to help. If you can, make sure to include screenshots or something of the sort. Anyway, thank you a lot for watching and see you next time.